Hi, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to Being Healthy Made Simple. Do you eat for reasons other than hunger? If you do, let me know in the comments below. It is something that we all do from time to time, I'm sure, myself included, but it isn't going to help you when it comes to your weight loss journey. And it is known as emotional eating. So I'm going to do a quick overview of emotional eating today and a few factors of what can cause emotional eating and some ideas on how to manage emotional eating. But it is an incredibly huge topic which I won't be able to cover in a brief Being Healthy Made Simple moment. So my name is Lee from Balancing Act Health Coaching, and welcome to today. So let me know where you're watching from, and if you're watching on the replay, then do let me know that you're on the replay with a hashtag replay and what city you are watching from. And if you know somebody who needs to hear about this, then please tag them or share this to their timeline. So emotional eating is it's an emotional topic, isn't it? Because it's unfortunately associated with eating foods that are usually high in sugar, high in salt, and high in fat. And if you have trouble with emotional eating, then you might find that it's worsened by the daily amount of stress that you have. So let's talk a little bit about the stress and also the difference between the emotional eating and physical hunger. So physical hunger, it develops over time, whereas emotional hunger comes up very suddenly and very abruptly. With physical hunger, you want to eat a variety of food groups, but with emotional hunger, you crave certain foods, and you might binge on that food, and you don't ever get that feeling of fullness. Whereas when it's physical hunger, then you do have a feeling of fullness, and you get your cue to actually stop eating. And when you have a physical hunger, then there's no negative feelings about the eating. But when it's emotional hunger, then you feel guilty about the eating. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can identify the triggers and what you can do instead. The emotional, if you are starting out and you're wanting to reduce your emotional eating responses, then you may already know a couple of the issues that are causing it. For example, you may know that stress, whether that's work stress or home life stress, can trigger your emotional eating responses. And then you can start doing something about that. So it might be negative, toxic people that are in your life, and everybody has some of those. It could be a co-worker or a friend or even a family member that causes ongoing stress and drama in your life, and they may do this through their actions or through words, or even both. But either way, they bring a toxic environment into your life, which causes you emotional stress, and ideally you want to be able to move these people out of your life. Unfortunately, you're not always able to remove them. If it's a family member, you can't really, and if it's a work colleague, well, you can't really move them out either. So then it's about acknowledging the toxic person in your life, and once you've acknowledged them, then you can start working on the emotions around that toxicity. So if this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments below, or leave a like, And before I forget, I'd like to invite you to consider sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I'd like to invite you to come and join my Facebook group, Being Healthy Made Simple, where these kind of topics are discussed, and there is a group of women just like you who are all wanting to make better, healthier food choices so that they can feel good about themselves in and out of their clothes. So do join me at Being Healthy Made Simple, and we'd love to have you there. But getting back to emotional eating and the toxic people in your life, of course you can't physically remove them maybe, but if you identify that these are the people that are draining you and causing you to have emotional upsets, then you're better able to manage them. Then another trigger for emotional eating is being constantly busy and overworked. And if that is you right now, then let me know in the comments. I think that emotional eating can certainly be triggered by an overloaded schedule, and you might be the person who says yes to the parent-teacher meetings, to the church social, and to becoming a team leader on a work project, and you are working extra hours for holiday expenses and gifts for birthdays and whatever else is needs to be paid for, and you're just running out of time in your schedule, and that just puts unnecessary emotional stress on yourself, because everything begins to feel like something you have to do and not something that you want to do. So an idea for how to manage this overloaded schedule is actually to sit down with your diary or with your schedule and fill in your day so that you can see how many hours of sleep you need, ideally 7 to 9 hours, all the hours that you're at work, fit those in first, and then start adding in other activities that you need to do during the day according to how important they are, making sure that you leave at least an hour at the end of your day, and ideally an hour at the beginning of your day, but if that's not possible, at least half an hour at the beginning of your day, just for quiet time, so that you can contemplate the day ahead and contemplate the day at the end of the day, and take some time to just calm down. So if you can stick to this schedule, then and if you see gaps where you can fit other activities in, then you'll be better able to manage that stress. And then of course, if you can't fit in any other activities, then it's time to learn to say no in the nicest possible way. And the nicest possible way is to say, that sounds awesome, but can I think about it and get back to you? And in that way, the person that you are saying no to is not offended, and you don't feel the immediate pressure to say yes. So there's just a couple of ways of handling the emotional stress of being overworked and constantly busy. And I'd love to know from you how you manage your busy schedule, and whether you find yourself stressed out about it and reaching for foods that help to comfort you and calm you during those manic times. Another thing that you can do is to have a regular daily routine, so that you are always doing the same things at a specific time. Like in the morning time, you are putting on a load of washing, or you are loading your dishwasher so that you have clean plates to come home to in the evening, or maybe in the evening time you are prepping your next day's lunches and your children's school lunches, so that it's not a mad rush in the morning. So That's another way just to ease the pressure of the manicness and the stress that can come with running a home and being mom. Another thing that you can do is to unplug from your technology on a regular basis. So ideally you want to unplug for maybe an hour, put your phone on charger and put it in another room, and then do something that is completely not technology related. So maybe that is going for a walk or playing with your children outside, or meditating or doing some journal work. But that just helps to reduce the stress, because with the technology you get notifications, and that could be from your bank, or it could be your Facebook notifications letting you know what's going on in other people's lives, and that all just adds to unnecessary emotional drama for you. So just some ideas on how to manage stress and emotional eating. Do come over and join me in my Facebook group, Being Healthy Made Simple, and thanks for stopping by for today's Being Healthy Made Simple chat. I'll speak to you again soon.